said Owen Benjamin tried to poison my lasagna. That's how you're going to try and diss someone in a wheelchair? By saying that the wind blew them over? That's your slight jab at me, buddy? Nice try. Must be nice to try and make jokes like that. Found out about Owen Benjamin and the Unbearables. I can't remember exactly who told me about them. It might have been one of them who had reached out to me, actually. Long story short, in like March of 2018, I was looking to, of course, continue building the show, and I was looking for a group of networkers, kind of like-minded creative conservatives, and I was told about the Unbearables. I found out about Owen through the JRE podcast. To be honest, I wasn't really a big fan of him comedically. Like, I thought he was okay, but he wasn't, great. But I kind of liked what he was doing with the whole, anti-trans kids thing. That really spoke out to me. And in the beginning, the Unbearables seemed to be a great network. People who were doing creative stuff like art and design and podcasting and video production, parody, songs, musicianship, in the case of Chuck Boris, and just late night streams, which was how I met the original DZ guys. Of course, John Neary was my first interview for the brief period of time I was with the Bears. But here's the thing, Owen's not even a conservative. He's a fucking leftist, posing. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. How dare you! Owen is doing the shit that mass shooters do before they go out and do a school shooting. Here's my manifesto. We need to get rid of the weak people, and I'm not saying he's going to be the one to do this. An Australian man murdered his wife with a pair of scissors, stabbed her in the chest. This is a warning to the general public about Owen Benjamin. We've warned you. How dare you!
Must be nice.
According to him, the goat urinated on him first, in front of Amy.
all this gay talk is pissing off my German Shepherd.
And good evening, folks, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Whitfield Report, crossover edition with Versa Media. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, broadcasting here live from South Florida, here at NGC Studios, and welcome to the show. So, first off, I want to give the contact info as usual. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @70_NGC, Gab, Parler, and Minds at Sam Whitfield. And yes, Parler is back on the App Store now. That is something I want to talk about tonight. TheSamWhitfield.com is my website. Facebook.com/The Whitfield Report. If you'd like to, support the Facebook page, but who goes on Facebook anymore? Streamlabs.com if you'd like to donate to the show. Patreon.com/The Whitfield Report. And Odyssey.com/The Whitfield Report. And we are streaming the Thursday show live over there now exclusively. So be sure to subscribe over on Odyssey. And all of the links to support the show are in the description. So, without further ado, I would like to, I'm already in Versa Media's server, but I'm going to jump into their call line, and as always, Sean and Phil are, the hosts of, Alex.
And
today.
Phil is out.
But
Phil's
out. Yeah. He's probably knee deep in, like, Marine Wife. Snatch or whatever. whatever that
Hey,
crazy.
I hope he is. I hope he is having a lovely time. But everybody can check us out on Versa Media on YouTube. Follow us at Versa News Media. We stream every Saturday, usually around the same time as Sam. So watch his shit and then watch our replays, and you'll have a good time all around.
Yeah, or when we do these crossover things,
Then you can
watch
watch
all of
both of
us.
us at once.
And I mean, also the Gamma is MIA. He had to work tonight, so please go on to his Twitter and shame him mercilessly because this job is far more important than his 9 to 5. Um, so yeah, we're 2 men down tonight, I guess. But anyway, so this was a light news week for stuff that nothing really happened. I do want to address something though, because someone earlier in the week made me aware that Madison Caulfield, I guess, did the whole "we're standing for Israel" uh, you know thing. And for those who don't know, Madison Caulfield, I don't know where he's from, but he's basically wheelchair bound and kind of like me. So uh, the fact that he says that he stands for Israel, uh, look,
Cringe.
I there, I am. There are people that are making jokes about him, and I usually don't like to disparage people on their disability, and I understand that jokes are jokes, and that some people are, they make jokes about disabilities just be assholes. But honestly, like, he kind of, I shouldn't say walked into that one, but I guess
He kind of can't do that.
I guess
Just
he,
roll with it,
I guess he kind of rolled into it. So
Yeah, did you see that, Alex? There's a tweet Madison Cawthorn sent out, the wheelchair dude, and it's "I stand with Israel," and Tim holding his like Israeli flag or something.
what's even more hilarious is it's him standing up, like they photoshopped it so it looks like he's standing up and holding up the flag.
Why is he so obsessed with standing for things? My God, dude. It's like
so much about fucking Israel that they will go and make themselves look like a fucking idiot.
I
Well,
know.
Well, and look, people always ask, well, why don't you bring up your disability more? Why don't you are you afraid
This
to
is why.
are you afraid to highlight it? And it's like, no, I'm not ashamed of being, disabled, but I'm not going to use it as a grifting tool, which is what he's, you know, yeah, this type of stuff is exactly why I don't plan on it. And I mean, I hate to say it, but he also he does come from a well-to-do family, so
Very
like,
wealthy family.
yeah, very wealthy family. So like, his level of crippledom is different than mine. Like, I shouldn't say he hasn't had hardships, because obviously being paralyzed, sucks and whatnot. I had mine from birth, and that's something I can't relate to. But at the same time, it's like you literally have like staff members who can help you, stand and whatnot. Like, that's literally one of their jobs.
Yeah, I posted a tweet in chats for you to see, Alex. It's like
It's
cringe. It's cringe. Cause like, look,
This is a problem with the establishment Republicans. They think that the average Joe loves Israel so much that they will find this, like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, yes, Israel. Oh. No one cares. Like,
no.
no one really fucking cares about Israel that much. You
The
know,
only
like
people that care about Israel are Jews and like hardcore Christians, like super hardcore Christians.
one of the fucking alt rights, they don't like Israel.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true. And anti-Semites.
well, and that's the other thing. I don't know if you've seen the meme, but there's a Star Wars meme where it's like Anakin says, I'm kind of against Israel, right? And then Padme goes, "Oh, but you're pro Palestine, right?" And she goes, "You are pro Palestine." And then you just see like Anakin's evil smile because, he's not either one. But like that,
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's where I think I kind of align is like, if Israel has its benefits for us, I'm like, okay, fine. And if I mean, I, I, I just don't think it's a big deal. That I really just don't have a stance on, because I really don't care. I just have a problem with when people hate Israel a lot and love Israel a lot. Because
yeah.
I'm like, why? Just why?
I think we
There's
need to retake the Holy Land. Okay,
yes,
bring it back to Christianity.
yeah,
Screw the Jewish state of Israel. Screw the Islamic state of Israel. Bring back the Christian state of Israel.
yes. That's the one, honestly, if you want to, I'm not making this argument, but if you want to have a pro Israel argument that's actually somewhat persuasive and edgy, be like, do you want Muslims in control of Jerusalem? No. Okay, let's bulldoze and nuke Palestine.
Let's just go and get rid of Israel. Let's go and make it like a fucking. Let's put all the atheists there.
That's anti Semitic.
Yes.
And that's another thing I hate is like if you bring up a little bit of criticism, you're anti-Semitic. Although I will say, usually the most vocal critics of Israel are anti-Semitic. Usually, so it's like,
Well, now it's that chicken or the egg thing. It's like, oh, you're an anti-Semite, and then they actually just become anti-Semite. It's like, well, you know what? Fuck it. If you already call me that, what do I've got to lose?
yeah, yeah. And then the problem Phil had with this, and this is a problem I have too with the Madison Cawthorn tweets. Like, I didn't see this pretty graphic saying I stand with Trump during Stop the Steal. I stand with America. I stand with America first. No, whips this all out for Israel. And there's a simple reason why. It's like he gets big donor money from pro Israel groups. That's
Ye-
how it works with a lot of groups. Is like they'll go out of their way to do things for certain groups that pay them a lot of money. And that's what Trump was against. Like Trump was very pro Israel, but he didn't go even as out of his way like this. And I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, hey, if it makes the Republican voters happy and vote for him, fine. I just don't care that much. It's on my lowest of low of priorities. I'm worried about the border. I'm worried about uh, inflation coming up. I'm worried about big tech censorship. I'm worried about all these other things. And do I want Israel to have lots of influence over America? No, I don't want that. But I just don't get the big kerfuffle with it.
I guess
um,
I can see there's a lot of contractors, like military contractors, based out of Israel, and I think that's where you get your sort of Republican support for Israel.
Well, and I'll say I was kind of iffy on Israel, and then when I saw video footage of them bombing a AP media journalist building,
yeah,
I was kind of like, I'm pro-Israel based.
I saw that, and I'm like, you're finally coming around to my line of thinking.
I
Look,
was like, what's there? I'm like, these people are awesome. I stand with Israel too, Masson.
look,
Look at that.
I'm very pro-Israel, but it's not because like I'm a Jewish supremacist or anything like that, or yeah, I guess a Zionist is what you would call that. But no, I'm just like so anti. I'm just like so anti-Islam that like the fact that Israel sticks in their craw, I'm like good. So
Yeah.
and
And by the way, I was kidding for anybody clips out of context, but I was kind of had a provocative joke there. But yeah,
Oh,
that's an opinion a lot of people have too. Like on the more edgier right, is like, wow, we can get rid of Muslims this way. Like I've seen that opinion before.
well, Bruce City is here, and she's going to clip it just because she likes to clip me,
Oh, nice.
and whatnot. But speaking of Bruce City, Brew, I'm not wearing a straight jacket. This is a dress shirt I'm wearing. I think what people are kind of shocked to know is I actually, for those of you listening on audio, I I I have a buzz cut basically.
Mm.
So yeah, I decided to basically, I didn't shave all my hair off, but I have a marine buzz cut. So I literally am Dictator Phil this week. For you guys.
Dressing for the occasion.
For you guys. Sam has the tiniest of small hats of all hats. Well, I did interview Ben Shapiro, once before.
Speaking of
So,
Israel.
yeah.
This reminds me of something kind of random because we're talking about Israel. Reminds me of the Groypers. Did you see that thing, Alex? I don't know if we're talking about Sam about the documentary that British dude's doing on them. Did you see what happened with that?
No, what happened? What's been going
No.
on with
Okay, so Louis Theroux, who Milo says is one of the most like dangerous documentarians, you should like never talk to him, because he'll screw you really, really hard. Um, he's been covering the Groypers during like AFPAC and these other things, but then he started doing interviews with them one on one. He interviewed Nick, and then he interviewed this guy named Beardson that hangs out with them, and this is really funny. So he comes to Beardson's house and he starts asking him questions in the interview, and he goes, "So see this picture here? This is from an event you were just at, and you had your arm up, and why I would have to ask, why were you doing a Roman salute?" And Beardson's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, You were doing a Roman salute here," and it's a picture of him doing a salute, like a military salute, and he clips it so his arm is extended.
God, that's pretty scummy.
I know, but this is the funny part. So Beardson like tries to like tell him like, "Dude, are you retarded? Like, what is this?" Like that's what he was telling him. And he's like, whoa. Actually, it's not a Roman salute. It's like, a Nazi salute, That's more what it's like." And he's like, "Dude, it's the same difference." And so at that point, he's just like, "Get the fuck out of my house." Like, that was his exact words.
No,
He
I don't.
kicks him out.
I don't blame. Like, dude, the dude's basically manufacturing a story to make you look bad. Like, that should be considered, what you call it, slander
Slander.
at that point, because he's knowingly doing something, to manipulate the truth to make you look bad, knowing it'll cause you harm.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's libelous. And so he kicks Louis Theroux out. But it doesn't end there. He starts streaming about it, telling people what's going on. And then he gets a phone call. And guess who it is?
Louis.
It's a phone from Britain. And it's Louis. And he starts trying to like get him back for an interview. He's like, Listen, man, like I didn't mean, that I think you're taking it the wrong way." And he's like trying to like backpedal and all these things. And he's like, "Dude, you like lied about me." And he talks about it. And while he's doing that, like the guy keeps going back and forth with him, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and they just keep going at it. And then he's like, "Okay, Louis, I will do an interview again if you apologize right now." And he's like, not hesitating to do it. And then
Wait,
he's like, "Okay, Beardson,
wait,
I'm really sorry."
wait. Louis C.K. is making an Israel
No,
docu.
it's not Louis.
No, so he's like, I'm so sorry, man." And Beardson goes, "Go fuck yourself," and hangs up. Epic gamer moment.
Oh my God, dude. I hate these like reporters that do that. Like, they are honest.
So and then you can keep going.
No, I
I know
said
you
there's
hear that.
reporters who do stuff like that. they're the reason that like people hate reporters. They're the reason that like there's no respect for that organization. Because I think that there are actually good reporters out there, but there's so many fraudulent charlatan spin doctors out there who will try to go and do anything to get an edgy headline. Like, see stuff like that. That's why terrorist groups and like military insurgents they'll target the reporters first because they know they're full of shit. And I can see why Israel would choose to target that building after how many reporters do stuff like that. Because as a
Well,
country, like that gets as much shit as Israel. It's like, oh, dude.
well, and it's like it's no big secret either that like Al Jazeera is like partially funded by Al Qaeda or something like that. Like that's one of the worst kept. That's like one of the worst kept secrets, like ever. Is that like Al Jazeera is basically funded by terrorism? So
I don't know. I just think that like certain reporters like they need to have some sort of like standard or something. Like
Don Lemon.
I don't know. Like I believe that we need a free press, but like when I start to see shit like that, like I don't know. Like I can see why certain people want there to be like licenses to be a reporter. I can understand that. I don't necessarily agree with it, but after seeing situations like that, I can understand why someone would come to that conclusion.
Well, it well it got worse because guess what happened after that? Because he's still streaming. Louis calls him again. He kept trying to get a interview with him again, to get him some more, and he kept trying and trying and trying. He called him like 5 times, and so Beardson's finally like, dude, like you're harassing me. Stop it, or else I'm reporting to the cops. It was insane,
Dude, yeah, it's like
but a lesson. Yeah, honestly, he was like worse than ex-girlfriend. Like it was nuts, but that was a more it actually became such a big deal that national British press even reported on this incident. They're like, oh, far right streamer like kicks documentarian out of his home.
See, they need to have because I think Britain does have like fucking licenses. Like they need to get their license pulled for that. Or like they should
They
get
have very
sponsored.
strong libel laws too.
Like I think if you're reporting and do shit like that, and you call yourself an official reporter, like you should get your press credentials like pulled for stuff like that. I think that'd be an appropriate punishment.
Yeah, I agree. Um, Not to go off on a tangent there, but I did want to bring that up. Because we talked about it a little bit last week, but I didn't know if you were aware of it. But the other thing that was actually really funny that I saw was, did you see the update on the Q shaman?
Yeah, that he like
Wait,
claimed
what?
the mental defect like defense, mental disease or defect by saying he has like autism or something, and Trump, you know, weaponizes autism. Oh,
Oh my god, that's funny.
I think it's funny. I don't know. I don't know how well that's gonna work for him. Like, but honestly, I saw that others. Wait, oh, you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had a technical hiccup there. What were you saying?
No, I was saying about the mental disease or defect thing run by the Qshan because he claims he had like autism or Asperger's or something,
Yeah.
and Trump weaponized the autism basically and caused this to happen.
Oh my god, that meme is so old. It's I can't believe they're going with that.
Yeah. And he's mad that Trump didn't pardon him. I'm like, dude, have you looked at yourself?
It'd
Well,
be funny though. If I was Trump, I would pardon him. I mean, if you're going out anyway, may as well go out in blades of glory.
Yes.
I I I still can't believe the Q people who I still have a neighbor dude who believes in Q and he's like he's like, you just wait. Trump's gonna be back in the White House. It's just a matter of time. And I'm like, it's almost June, dude. Like, Biden has been president for a long ass time, and I don't think Biden should be there either. But I don't think Trump is secretly running the country from here.
The Q Shaman's lawyer even said this word for word. He said a lot of these defendants, I'm going to use this colloquial term, perhaps disrespectfully, but they're all fucking short bus people. These are people brain damaged, they're fucking retarded, and they're on the goddamn spectrum. Oh my god, this is his lawyer.
I think his lawyer needs, like, I think
It's
honestly,
deliberate.
I know, but that's, if your lawyer shows that much, like, I don't know. I don't think he's the right one. I don't think that defense is gonna work.
I don't think so either. I think he's probably working against him.
I think there's a conflict of interest. Because I don't know, like, I saw some other stuff go out. The police basically let these people in.
Yep. Yeah, video footage came out that confirmed something people had said for a while, which is that they let them in. They let them all into the Capitol. They let them in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the January 6th thing, I'm shocked that people are still talking about it. But I still have a never Trump guy who keeps trying to like tag me on the FBI's
Of course.
Facebook page. I'm like,
Jesus.
go ahead, dude. I have nothing to hide in regards to that. He's just being a dick. So
I think you strolled into the White House, broke in there. January 6th.
I mean, I did.
Wheels blazing.
I mean, I did go back. I did go to the White House in like 2007 with like a middle school like tour, but that would have been back when Bush Jr. was president. So.
Well, no, and I find it fucking funny that these people make out the White House to be this sort of like religious, like holy land. And it's like, dude, you people don't even believe in God. You're like equating this to like a fucking church. Like, you suck. You're fucking...
Or the Capitol too.
Well,
like, oh, this is such a holy place. Like, dude, fucking Bill Clinton got his cock sucked by a fat bitch up there. Or maybe she wasn't at that time. I don't know. That was before my time. I don't know.
She is now.
She is now, but I mean, I could see that too after
she
being
was.
noticed.
She was hot,
thick,
but
Ben.
she was hot. But I'd like to point out that Trump also had several mistresses during, or at least one mistress. He was actually stripping Karen McDougal at the time.
When he was the president?
No, this was back when Clinton was president and Trump was still just a business, man, or
yeah. I was about to say, if Trump was fucking around while he was in the White House, like, I'm pretty sure he would have heard of that. Like, that would have been front page news.
I mean, it kind of would have been. I think even if he had, people wouldn't have really cared, but
Dude, they would have done the same thing they did to Clinton. Like, they would have had a full investigation. I'm pretty sure his wife, like, his wife was the one, like, really protecting his ass when he was president.
yeah, well.
Sorry, can you say again? I had to exit. I think your Discord's messing up, or my internet is.
It's probably Discord.
Yeah. What were you saying, Alex?
No, I was saying if Trump, had an affair in the White House, I'm pretty sure you all would have heard about it because his wife was like the one, like, really doing a decent job of protecting his ass while he was in there, and she probably would not have put up with that.
Yeah. That's true. People don't realize she was probably one of his biggest, like, watchdogs, like, or guardians. from everything else that was going on.
Yeah, she was the only one that didn't screw him over in the end.
Yeah, literally. Um, but did you guys also see that now his organization is under criminal investigation? Or they're looking into it, I think.
Of course, it's retaliation because he looked at he brought the Clinton organization and all these other things. I'm not surprised. It's a witch hunt. As much
Yeah.
as Biden campaigned on moving ahead and not doing these political stunts, he's sure doing a lot of them, or it's happening in his presidency.
Well, we all fucking knew that whole unity thing was bullshit, from the beginning. I mean, I made a video the other day on my channel basically talking how Biden has essentially brought back segregation into the country. And what I mean by that is you're now in two groups. You either have the vaccine or you don't, and you have to wear a mask.
Well, no. Speaking of segregation, you hear what happened with that Chicago mayor, Lightfoot or whatever, where she's refusing to be interviewed by non-black or BIPOC, whatever they want to call it
Yeah.
now. She's like, that's some bullshit right there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know a couple black reporters who would probably be interested in interviewing her exclusively or something like that. But yeah, it's amazing how quote unquote progressive the left is now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nuts. I heard about that story while I was driving home on the radio, and the fact that a elected official thinks that they can say who's allowed to go and interview them and who isn't, that shit you
And
would see in Britain and stuff, back in the 1700s. I'd
you're
expect that
hearing
there.
too, Alex.
What?
Oh, it did again. Yeah, sorry. Well, yeah, I know. It's one of those things that's like so demented. It's like, dude, this is 2021. Never, like, this is again. It's like you feel like you're going back in time.
Yeah, yeah, no, that Lightfoot person, she sucks.
She looks
It's
like a
from Chicago.
fish.
It's Chicago. What do you expect? It's like Baltimore in terms of corruption. Speaking of mayors,
Yeah.
who's not coming back in Pittsburgh?
No, I did not.
Mayor Peduto is out. He lost the Democratic primary.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and he apparently Biden called him up and he was asking Biden for a job. Apparently,
He's like, well, I'm out of one now.
dude, that guy fucking sucked. The only thing he did of note was the stupid bike lanes that nobody likes.
Oh, he's one of those guys.
And let's see, the fucking bike lanes. I don't know why people like them so much. No one other than rich white people use them.
Pretty
It's like
much.
college, in a city, at Penn State or college town, I could actually understand, but in a big city, no one's using the fucking bike lanes, to go to work. I'm not gonna go and bring a suit on and get all sweaty and waste a bunch of time to go and ride to work in a bicycle unless you already live downtown, which even downtown Pittsburgh, that can be expensive. The prices for a downtown apartment, it's that can be a pretty expensive thing to do. So unless you're going from Section 8 housing, at which point you probably want to be in a car anyways. It tends to be white, the rich white people. It's not the black people, they go and ride the bus.
Exactly. Say poor people use public transportation, not bikes.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. And I've seen articles about that. It's the most stupidest virtue signal thing I've ever seen. And I've seen stupid articles too, the white supremacist problem with bike lanes. And while I don't think it's a white supremacy issue, I think it's it's a bunch of these stupid fucking liberals who think that riding the bicycle to work while they still own a car and probably ride it all the time, you're not gonna be doing that in the winter too. I mean, most people aren't unless you literally live right next to work. At which point, just fucking walk. it just because God forbid too, like I wouldn't want to keep my bicycle out in front of the fucking building. You're just gonna get stolen.
Yep. Yep.
You know?
Even when you put locks on them, they still get stolen.
Oh yeah. I've seen like when I used to go to work downtown, I saw someone bring a bicycle into their workspace. It's one of those foldy ones, or like they'll take off. I think it's like what they did in I forget what movie. I think it was Mr. Bean or like what was that other movie? Like
Johnny
Rocket.
English.
It
Oh
was
yeah,
one of
yeah, yeah,
those.
where he shoots the. Oh, I was
Where,
thinking of the one where he shoots like the speeding camera.
no, God, that'd be funny. No, but like
He did. It was funny.
they took the tire off the bicycle to go and prevent people from stealing it.
Yes,
Like
that's smart actually.
it's such a pain in the ass. They need to go and put the tire back on. That
Yeah.
pisses me off.
Or
You
you,
know,
you or you just take the whole wheel off. The front wheel.
well, no, that's what they did. They took off the actual wheel.
Oh Jesus.
Like that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
No one does it, and and it makes it harder, and for actual cars and like buses and stuff. Like bicycle lanes are the most stupid, like liberal, like white liberal concept, and I use that in the Chinese, fashion.
Yep.
And I think they're stupid. And good riddance for you, Mayor Peduto. You sucked ass. Fuck you.
Who's the one that won the primary though? Is it somebody that's actually even more crazy?
But I just fucking can't stand Peduto. It's a black man. So
Oh.
I don't know anything about this person. I just know, screw Peduto. I hope he doesn't get a job, or maybe he'll be right up with the CDC with his right hand man. I mean woman. What's her name?
Rachel
Rachel.
Levine.
Yeah, the big boy girl. You know,
Oh God, yeah.
ladies man, or man's.
I don't know which way it goes with her. Technically, him. I mean her.
Yeah, they'll probably
Whichever.
be working together right over there with the Biden administration.
Oh,
You know,
so I was just looking at Parlor a few minutes ago, and
oh, you got to work. Wow.
you
You
mentioned,
know that was back.
yeah, believe it or not, Parlor actually worked. What do you know? But I saw on the Epoch Times account that apparently Tulsi, uh,
Yep.
mommy Tulsi, what? Yeah, I did just say that. Called out Lori Lightfoot for anti-white racism. So
Yeah, isn't it crazy that it takes the only person that could get away with this was a Democrat to actually say that her not doing interviews with anyone that isn't black is anti-white racism. She's the only one that said it. Only the one that used that term anti-white. Well, you know what's actually funny? There's a Fox 32 Chicago article. They capitalized the W in white. 'Cause you notice how they started doing that with black during the George Floyd shit? They're doing it with white
yeah,
too, which is actually funny that they're actually being consistent.
I don't pay attention to those spelling things, but like, man, that's bullshit. Fuck that stupid like Chicago mayor. Your city sucks. I don't know why people like the handful of people that like it. Like, I guess bullets must make gunshots must make a great lullaby for these people. Because why else would you want to live in Chicago?
Yeah.
If you
Yeah, I
think
mean,
Baltimore is bad, like Chicago's Chirac.
I mean, look her. She looks like a fish. She's like demonic, and she has a shitty Say's game, even shittier. It's like you are literally the worst mayor, probably the worst mayor in the entire country, except Cuomo.
My God, they should get like a picture of like someone else. Like, this is your mayor. This is your mayor on crack. There's
It's
all
her.
advertisements. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, she's such a piece of shit. Like, racist, socialist, just all around terrible person. Like, I don't know why she. Well, I guess that she. I can see why they'd make her mayor because like the fucking Republicans. The only person that they have like running under a Republican ticket, I think, was an
Caitlyn.
actual neo-Nazi, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it was one of those things where the Republican Party didn't even bother to try to run anyone, so like some actual neo-Nazis were there.
Oh God.
I remember this from years ago. I'm pretty sure
I
it was
remember that.
God, like Republican Party at least give a half decent candidate. Because like when I went to vote, over the other day, there was like no Republican candidates for like a bunch of different seats. Like, what the fuck are you doing,
Really?
Republicans? Yeah, they're being lazy. Like, at least throw someone's fucking name on there.
Well, well, I know that Sean, you and I chatted this about this last night, but I find it funny that, I mean, and kind of sad too because I have friends in California. But I do have to admit, you know, if you have a dark sense of humor like I do, it's kind of funny to think of how fucked California is because you have a choice between a tranny, uh, a guy with a lisp, and Gavin Newsom. And honestly, the tranny might be the best choice out of all of them.
Well,
I'd have a
at least he'll keep her from driving. Hopefully, maybe they'll give her a chauffeur.
yeah. She'll vote for Caitlyn. Save lives.
Yes. Maybe she needs to use the
Buckle
bicycle
up,
lane.
Buckaroo.
See, maybe she needs to be like the one person that uses the bicycle lane. Maybe that should be like a stipulation for her taking office. You will be required to bike to work.
I mean,
Well, you know what's gonna happen. You know when men ride bicycles, we have to like. It's a little harder for us because when you're on the seat, you know your balls kind of get uncomfortable. So they make some like stuff for that. So it'd be a little bit of a challenge for her though. Then.
That's
well,
true.
I don't know. She slash he picked up female driving habits pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
was
that's what
that?
Gervais said. She's like, yeah,
So
Caitlyn, he was like, oh, Caitlyn Jenner's so courageous, made so many accomplishments. Wasn't very good for women drivers though.
Yeah.
So
Well, see,
true.
maybe that's how, like, apart from the dipping, maybe that's why Lance Armstrong won the fucking tour, because he had an advantage in only having one testicle.
Yeah, yeah. Though. I'm making a serious point with this. Like, it is harder for men to use bicycles because you have all this stuff in the way, and those bicycle seats are uncomfortable. They're like thin, and like all your stuff gets all clumped in there. But with women, effortless.
Well, see,
They
I think they can modify that, like, so there's like a little hole for your ball.
that's not gonna
Ooh.
get clipped at all.
Yeah.
Well, I do agree with you though, because that's the thing I hated with riding the bicycle. Like, the seats always either go up my ass or like they pound on my ball sack. So like I had to go and use, like, my girlfriend actually had like a decent seat, but and I had to go and buy a new one. But we haven't like ridden the bicycle since then. But you have to get like a modified seat if you don't want your testicles to be harmed.
Oh,
that
speaking of girlfriends, though, have you guys followed the Bill Melinda Gates thing?
Yeah, I saw a little
yes.
bit about that. Like, apparently he was he has some frequent flyer miles on a certain Epstein Express.
Oh.
Well, there's two big things here. I'll talk about something else that's big too. Number one is there were more meetings with Epstein than he originally said, which I always thought was sus about him and Epstein, and people would gaslit me and say I was crazy. But I'm like, no, this dude was literally dealing with a guy that wanted depopulation, they wanted to clone himself, and want to make himself, superhuman like a god. And Bill Gates is with this dude. Like, there's something weird here. And his wife, out of the blue, after 30 years together, leaves him during all this where he's in the news over COVID and all these other things and the vaccine. It's just really weird. I think it's the Epstein stuff is the real killer with him. But the other thing too is there was a Netflix documentary about the two of them. I sent you that tech lead guy's video, Alex, that he did on this because he's an interesting character. He's worked for Facebook and Google, and he's a millionaire, and he's been divorced. And he was talking about his experience with him relating to Gates, and he watched that documentary. It's like you can just see her belittling him and cutting him down all the time, which is super toxic. I mean, it's really bad, and she's always preaching this equality because she wants to be as equal as him, if not more than him, and she's not. So basically, she's a narcissistic bitch, and he is an autistic cuck. Because when he asked her out, she actually turned him down the first time. She
Well,
turned him down.
yeah, if you're the fucking CEO at that point, like, you get turned down.
You're a trouble dude. Like you're a mess. And apparently he was like, oh shucks, oh gosh, golly. Like he was speaking like that. I'm
God, he's
like
tough.
cringe.
Yeah, I mean,
This is why you need to bully him early and often.
Yes. Yeah, come here, little Bill.
well,
Come
I,
here.
well, I mean that is one thing that like Steve Jobs was absolutely correct on was that Bill Gates was a was a little worm. So
The Chad Steve Jobs versus the Virgin Bill Gates.
Steve Jobs he had his own issues.
oh
He
yeah,
was
I
a
mean
Chad
I'm not saying
though.
I'm
He
not
was
saying that
a complete liberal cuck.
I'm not I'm not saying that Steve was perfect. He had his issues, like the fact that he wouldn't acknowledge his own daughter for several years.
Yeah, that was pretty messed up.
But I mean, Bill did steal the Mac's design for Windows. So, but anyway, yeah, that we're getting into nerdy territory that
Well, it's
I
like,
that
you know,
my
those two, they're the ideal like California people. You know, you have your like complete like autistic nerds, and you have your like super fucking liberal hippies. It's like California right there.
pretty
Well, Steve
much.
wasn't super liberal, but he was a hippie.
Yes, he was,
Um,
dude. He was vegan, and he thought because he didn't eat meat, he wouldn't smell if he didn't take a shower. That's like peak liberal.
that
Yeah,
transcends liberal.
and he also didn't want to get he would have survived his cancer if he would have actually gotten surgery, but he didn't.
Yeah, he was so stupid. He was doing like herbs and like some other weird stuff. I'm like, dude, what are
I
you
mean,
doing?
Tim Cook was even a match for like a kidney transplant, and he wanted he wanted to do it. He's like, I'll name you CEO, but I won't take your liver when you've offered or your kidney when you've offered it to me. So
Well, see, Bill Gates will just have it cloned. Like that's his like thing. He like have like a fucking robot, or he'll pay some like African kid to do it. He'll like do that. Like, hey, I'll give your family like some water for like a year if you give me your kidney. Like, oh, okay. And then you gotta be like, oh well, see, Bill Gates, he's such a philanthropist. He's giving this like whole village water for a year, but he
Bill
also took the kidney.
Bill Gates is a James Bond villain. Let's be honest. I mean,
No, that's Elon Musk.
Yeah, I know. I have another person who'd be even better, but he's not a famous person.
That's what I'm initially gonna say, but I'm like, we can't say that.
yeah.
But no, Elon Musk is like a good, like he's actually good. I think he's good. But if you were to make a villain, it'd be like, yeah, I mean, he's more like Tony Stark than a Bond villain. But because I like Elon, but yeah, I guess Bill Gates. You actually kind of, nah, I take back what I said. Bill Gates is more the Bond villain.
I mean, he's pretty much like Blofeld, but like less cool.
Yeah, he's more of a nerdy one. It's like the Austin Powers version. Radio Freeman chat says if we do a good job with healthcare and vaccines, we can reduce the population. Bill Gates. Yep, that is true. You spitting facts, man. He said that during a TED talk. Oh,
Fucking
what's
TED
this?
Talks too. Those are the most fucking self-congratulatory, stupid, fucking liberal bullshit I've ever seen. Like I
Thank
love
you.
it.
So
The fact that
pretentious.
I love the fact that fucking who's that guy?
Sam Hyde.
Sam Hyde was able to go and give one of those. Because that's
Did you-
perfect. He's like the perfect spoof of like the TED Talk.
The best ones were Sam Hyde's and Gavin McGinnis's one. Did you see Gavin's?
No.
Oh, it was funny. I don't even know how he got even on the stage. Like, it amazes me they let him. But
He-
he starts off with like, I don't really know what to say. And he's like kind of like playing, he's doing this bit, and then he just goes into this rant about like how working in groups suck, how people suck,
Yeah.
and he just goes off. It's so funny. and the audience is dead silent. Like at every joke, they are dead silent, and they just weren't ready for it. And he just unloaded. It was so funny, so funny. Like it's different than Sam Hyde's because Sam Hyde's was like a trolling funny, but Gavin was
People,
just so
people
funny because he
fucking
just
thought
said
he was
shit that.
being real. Like people thought with the Sam Hyde one, he was like some actual person, and they were congratulating him. It's just like making up complete like utter bullshit. God.
I know it was great. Like I hate those things. I went to the one at Penn State and I was like, God, it's so pretentious.
We had one at the University of South Florida, and they were charging. I didn't go, but if I had, it would have been like $25, including my, and that's with the student discount. It was like,
At least with mine, they gave me a lunch. I should have found a way to be a speaker one. Oh, I should. Oh, I should do that now.
Yeah.
Ooh. Let's make this happen, boys.
I
Have our
mean,
event in the fall, and then in the spring I do the TED Talk, and then I walk on graduation.
What do you have to do to like actually get into a TED Talk? I'm kind of curious. Do
I'm
you
kind of
talk?
curious too.
yeah, I've actually looked that up. It's like, how do you get chosen for one of those things?
Obviously, you can manipulate it, or
Yeah.
Sam Hyde never got one.
Oh, what's funny? Yeah. Well, I actually I wish I'd been paying attention to my email, but ended up not mattering because of COVID. But I got an email from my new Oregon Centered America where they're like, "Hey, you want to join like a roundtable at TEDx?" I was like, "Oh man, yes I do."
It'd be fucking funny. All right, guys. So here's, the
I'm
2020.
interesting. It says,
Oh,
oh, was there just a delay there?
yeah, I think there was a delay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Discord's really acting up. Or my internet. But I'll look on the site now, see how to apply to that, and I'll let you do your punchline. But this is something interesting on Bill Gates. Says Gates married Melinda French, which is Melinda Gates, on the Hawaiian Island in '94. At the time, Gates was given permission by Melinda to spend limited time with his ex-girlfriend. I wonder what they were doing. Um, but yeah, she's really weird though, so that's interesting. What were you saying though about TEDx? I heard you saying something.
I was gonna say you should go and do like the TED Talk, like fucking 2025, man. Let's talk about the world 2025. Do that, like all the fucking what was it, the breakthrough? Or what was that word? Yeah, I can't remember what he was talking about. But
I
there was like
Wasn't it
that
something about
word.
like Africans or something?
Yes, the Africans, the Afrofuturism.
Yeah.
You should do your shit on.
Speakers. Let's see who speaks at this. TEDx. Time to pause. Speakers. What?
Time to
Mark?
stop. Oh my god, they should get that guy to do it. The fucking what's his name? The Japanese guy who did with the pink guy thing, who used to be a meme, and now he's like a semi-serious musician. Can't remember his name.
Oh, you mean Filthy Frank?
Yeah, he should give a fuck. He probably did do a TED talk.
No, no, no. You know who we should get is the Sandusky trooper.
All right, guys, welcome to my TED talk.
Was he on a
We're
podcast recently?
gonna tell you about why Sandusky did nothing wrong using technology. Oh my god.
I'm gonna prove to you kids today that Sandusky did nothing wrong.
Yeah, those children, man, they're fake. It was all fake.
It was a false flag. They're child actors.
Yeah, they were actually, they were made up by the media because they wanted to go and paint a homosexual man as a pedophile. Okay, it's actually very well respected member of the community. I can't believe the college Republicans would bring a Sandusky truther to a CR meeting. Like
Was that the same one that was mentioned in the news recently?
I don't remember the guy's name, but I would not be surprised because I can't imagine there was like a long list of these people. I mean, there probably is a list of them, but it's like the government has them.
It's a short list.
Yeah, it's
No,
probably like
I
a watch
think it was
list.
the same one. I think it's the same one, dude. Like it seemed like him. I'm gonna do some research, but I think it's the same one.
I couldn't imagine there would be like a whole lot of like Sand. I mean, I'm sure there probably was like more than one, but like I couldn't imagine that would be a very big club like Sandusky Roosters. But
It's a
I
very
mean,
small tent community.
I would hope so. You know, very small tent. I mean, that'd be efficient for things. You know.
Bruh, the application period's closed. It says it'll be available next summer. Do they mean this summer or next summer? I need to apply for that.
Yes. Like, what
Um,
organization does that?
TEDx.
God, TEDx. Sounds like that fucking
Yeah.
cartoon shows like JetX, but even more pretentious.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of college Republicans, actually, I didn't show you this. Let me pull it out. I have the documents. This is something that'll make your skin just cringe. Um, they sent out a newsletter.
Sean has the documents, folks.
I have them. I have them, people. Uh, uh, um,
And your Discord died again.
Man, yeah, man, your parents must be, having phone sex or something, and taking up all your Wi-Fi.
He's probably still talking, thinking that he's being heard.
Oh shit. Well, time for another drink.
doing live streams. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I think your
Okay.
parents are having phone sex, and that's killing your Wi-Fi.
Oh, they're doing something else right now, which I can tell you off there. Um, but I want to show you guys something from the College Republicans. I'm gonna post it in the chat right now, where they talk about their accomplishments and things that they're doing and all that. And this is what I saw that
What?
really raised my.
Why is the CRs doing this?
They did a scavenger hunt with the Black Caucus. With the semester coming to a close, our organization strove to connect with other on campus political clubs in order to increase our outreach and coordination. Oh, they're going to be the ones that are going to reach out to you and coordinate with you. After reaching out to the Blackhawks, oh, so they didn't reach out to you. The CRs, the college Republicans, reached out to them. Our club was graciously invited to participate in their scavenger hunt. We had 3 teams attend this great event, with one team placing third overall. This event was the beginning of our campaign to coordinate with our political clubs on campus. Holy shit.
I would love
Holy.
to see what they were trying to find. It's
I'm not
probably
gonna.
like white racism. Oh, I found this. I found my white privilege card.
I
Fucking
found my
clowns.
I
They're
found my
fucking,
N-word pass.
oh my god, they're fucking clowns. I swear to God, bunch of fucking cuck clowns.
This is so cucked. And because when I first saw it, I thought it was ironic. I'm like, that's pretty funny. I can't believe they actually. Oh, this isn't a joke. Because the reason I'm saying this is bad is, look, there are many times when I was chapter president turning point where I tried to reach out to other people. But when I did it, I was still standing strong with our values. I wasn't softening things. This is evidence that they aren't really college Republicans. This is evidence that they really aren't making a difference, that they really aren't fighting for what they believe in. Because if they did, these people would be slandering them, they'd be calling them racist, they'd be sending death threats, they'd be hating them. Because that's what happened to us, is other clubs hated us. And this club in particular, I think, members of the Black Caucus or on their Twitter or something, they sent out nasty things to us. So they're doing something wrong. If they are reaching out to them and they are cooperating with them, there's something wrong.
Yeah, this was the beginning of our campaign to coordinate with other political clubs on campus. Okay, CRs. What are they gonna do? It's gonna go and like present your anus to go and get fucked by all the other political clubs. That's what they're
And,
doing. They're gonna be
and
the
guess who I bet they haven't reached out to?
Hmm.
Other conservative clubs like Turning Point.
If I was a CRs, I'd reach out to the Bull Moose Party before I'd reach out to the Black Caucus.
Yeah. I mean, this is pathetic. This is terrible. If they were standing up for what they believed in and they reached out to them and they would still work with them, I say that's great. That's actually what should be happening. But I know that's not what's happening. Because if you're able to have that relationship, you're probably not doing something right. There's something wrong here. If you're in a debate, that's different. If they're willing to debate, dude, awesome. I know how hard that was to pull off. This is some mega cuck shit.
Dude, they're not doing anything. They're probably like just partying with. It's probably like the CRs when I was there. They literally did nothing but party with the college Democrats.
Yeah.
That's all they did.
Yeah.
Fucking useless like wannabe fraternity. That's CRs. They're a wannabe frat. They can't. They're not even like an actual frat because like at least actual frat has good parties. Like their parties, they would go to the Meridian and like stuff a bunch of people and run out of beer like before the night's even begun. Like fuck, that was my second year. At least the first year they could run fucking parties. Like we had kegs. We had like an actual fucking like an ex frat house. Like when the last year, when we had a certain fabulous president, they sucked ass. Like I went to like one or two,
Literally.
and they were the worst, like most shit parties. It was always with the college Democrats. At least when I started, like they had parties that weren't just the college Democrats. Like we'd have our own parties, but then it just became exclusively like teaming up with the CDs because apparently the college Republicans couldn't have their own parties. Like at one point in time, they were like they had the best parties at least in terms of like the political clubs, and that has gone downhill now that they all became cocked and all they do is have parties but don't have people who actually know how to have parties. So it's like your buddies from high school, like the nerds, like their idea of parties like sucking each other's like masturbating in a circle, like four different dudes looking at the
Room
laptops.
wax.
Yeah, like fucking what was that? The bread, the soggy biscuit. Yeah, that's probably the CR's like ideal party.
Bread tubers.
Yeah, they fucking jack off on the biscuit while the females get like they have like threesomes with the fucking Black Caucus.
I mean, this is so cocked. I mean, if they were trolling doing this, I'd be like, dude, that's what I would be doing. But they're not. They're serious.
God, look at those masks too. What a bunch of fucking mask cucks.
Dude, I get so pissed when I see people with masks on now. I'm like, dude, what a cock. Like, I actually like it because I know who to avoid, and not because of COVID, but because they're cuckoldry.
Dude,
It's
see,
like
that's what I love, man. Fucking Rural King, my favorite store. No mask required anymore.
based.
Never.
Not
see, now
not to
here-
brag, but I live in Florida.
Oh,
so-
we know, we jelly.
Actually, I take that
Florida
back.
has
I'm
its
totally
own set of
bragging.
issues. Let's be real. Florida. Is
Well, every
not-
week in the news they do, every day.
Yeah, but that's not DeSantis's fault. That's
That's
Yeah.
Florida's fault.
Yeah.
Well, see, I wonder why that's the case. Like, I heard from someone that it was because they have all the rehabs over there.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I've also heard too, like news, like stations there, when they were bored, they would just try to look up crazy stuff like that, and that's how it became like a meme.
Well, I think they
Yeah.
have the Sunshine Law, like, where a bunch of shit's public that's not public elsewhere.
Yeah, I think that too. Um, oh, it's interesting you mentioned that. Matt Gaetz was at a speaking event with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and he was like, because he's into scandal and all that. He's like, I may be a canceled man. I am they call me a lot of things. I'm a canceled man. I'm a banned man. I'm a Trump supporting man. And I'm also a proud Florida man. I'm like, that's great. Like he's embracing the meme.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah, that's what,
But yeah, it's interesting seeing this campus stuff because it's just further decline of things, and it'll be interesting to see what happens when I come back. Cause I am coming back. We're gonna fluff a little feathers, but it's just so cocked. It's so just pathetic. And like these people there, they're probably still wearing masks. They're like outside when nobody's around. Because I saw that when I was there. But around me, even places like Wawa are like, yeah, you don't need to wear a mask if you have the vax. And so I'm just gonna go in and be like, yeah, I got the vaccine. Yeah, I got the shot. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
they're
don't
gonna
need a
scan
mask.
you with their 5G scanner, and they're gonna find if you have the vaccine or not.
They're gonna look for the microchip in my arm.
God. Dude.
Yeah. So that I wanted to mention. I'm glad we got through that. Did you see that Lou Barletta's running for governor in our great state
Yeah, I
of
heard
PA?
someone else was running too, and like apparently the other person got endorsed by Trump. So I don't know. I mean, I apparently whoever owned my house before I did like Lou Barletta. So I found some yard.
I've liked Lou. Yeah. Oh, was it Doug Mastriano? Is he the guy that jumped in the race?
I forget who. I don't know their exact names. Like, I mean, I only know Blue because I have yard signs for him from when I bought the house.
Yeah, I'm seeing articles that says Trump urges Mastriano to run for governor in 2022. Interesting. If Trump backs him, I back him. I know that Lou is like a hardcore Trump guy too, so I'd be happy with either.
Yeah, I like Blue because I already have yard signs. But I mean, I don't really have a yard either, so it's like, you know,
Yeah.
I just
Well, at
want
least
someone who's not
Wolfie's
a
gonna be
fucking.
gone.
I'm glad that Wolf's out, but I hope that we don't get another like pussy in charge.
Well, see, that's the thing I'm afraid of is that like people are like, "Oh, Wolf's term's up." I'm like, yeah, we could still get worse. That's the thing that could happen. But I there's so much hatred for the guy, and I think there's a very strong chance Republican wins, like very, very strong.
Oh yeah,
Let's
like
see the declared
especially.
candidates.
Well, no, dude. Especially you think about all the like little businesses that got fucked over by this whole COVID thing.
Yep, they're so pissed, man. So pissed. People don't realize just how pissed people are at these Democrat governors that kept locking down their states. They are so pissed, and they should be because they locked down their business. They killed their businesses. They killed their livelihood. It's terrible. And then they unleash this mental health crisis on kids.
Dude, I love to go and like what's it, troll the fucking subreddits. I'll see like the teachers one. They're a bunch of they're fucking crazy with that stuff. Like, oh my god, this kid didn't wear a mask today in school. Ugh.
I know they're so pathetic. It's like, look, there's no scientific evidence showing that even Fauci admits this that kids can transfer the virus to teachers. Like it can happen, but it's like very, very
Fucking
slim.
teachers have the fucking vaccines.
I
If the
know.
vaccines are still goddamn effective, why are they, so afraid? Like, do your fucking job. Do your
Well,
That's the other
goddamn
thing that
job.
pisses me off is all
well,
these people with
Sean,
the
what
vaccine don't trust it.
well,
And they preach
Sean,
it.
but what you have to understand, and this is Anthony Fauci here. What you have to understand, Sean, is that I'm a control freak, and you know, I I'll make up shit like saying that the virus doesn't affect you if you're sitting down, but your friend Sam can still get the virus even though he's sitting down all the time. So really there's no consistency whatsoever. And I know I got caught at like a Braves game without wearing a mask,
Yeah.
but
Can't get them in baseball games, don't you know?
but that's because
Yeah.
I'm different than you. All you peons need to wear a mask. So now
See, I will never forget those images of like Fauci alone or in the baseball stadium without a mask. Gavin Newsom in this dinner party without a mask. Tells you everything.
yep.
And it's hilarious too. Like these people, they're like freaking out at you, like, "Oh my god, like, or why aren't you wearing your mask? Oh, I'm gonna get sick." I'm like, "Do you have the vaccine?" Yeah. And I'm like, "What are you afraid of?" Like I feel like people got more afraid once they got the vaccine of getting COVID.
Dude, that's my fucking brother to a T. Like, he was bitching, like, when he went to vote. I was like, oh no, people didn't wear masks when they were going to vote. I was like, dude, you got your fucking vaccine. Who cares?
What is
Not
it?
like
Do they
you.
not believe in it? Do they not trust it? Like, what
No,
is it?
here's what it is, guys. I honestly think that it's fear porn. People love people love being afraid you know, of this because their lives were like boring before, and so like this whole event has given them something to be like, interested in. And so now I mean, I I think there's a certain amount of people that like honestly, like part of them enjoys this. Like they might not even realize this, but part of them they enjoy the drama of like all this COVID shit. So, you know.
Well, especially the media, like even the CNN people in Project Veritas videos admitted that it's a whole fear sells, like bad news sells. They know this, so they hyped it up and made it sound way worse than it was. I noticed the less I listened to the media, the more I actually looked at the data that was coming out, I started to realize very quickly that this thing is so overblown. It's nowhere near as bad as they say, especially for people that are young and healthy. You're fine. You're gonna be fine. If you're old, fat, and unhealthy or unhealthy, yeah, you should be concerned, and I don't have a problem with that. But don't make me ruin my life for a year
Well,
because you're old, fat, and unhealthy.
you want to know what's interesting, and this is probably going to get this thing banned off YouTube. So sorry,
Let's go.
not sorry, but I know more people who have gotten sick from the vaccine and had bad reactions than I have of people who have gotten sick with COVID. One of my
Actually, same. And you want to know what it is, actually? A lot of people that have gotten sick from the vaccine have had COVID before. That's the kind of correlation I've been noticing.
well, but so check this out. So this past semester, I was like in a team project with some dude, and our team leader, he got the vaccine, and he's 24. He's like he's actually like he's not he's not a student athlete, but he takes good care of himself. He works out, he keeps himself in shape, all of that. He um he got he got the vaccine, and his arm went numb for like 3 days, and then he also got a fever, uh, and it got so bad that he was in the hospital for 3 days because of that. I'm like, I'm like, wow. So you have an arm that's like temporarily paralyzed, and you get hospitalized for a fever. Yeah, that vaccine is really effective. So
You want to know something crazy? I'm looking at the CDC website. I didn't notice this. Nobody's talking about this. And they have a mask guide. They have a list of masks that you should choose and ones you shouldn't.
Huh.
You
They
want to
never
know
told us.
this?
I thought they said that if you wear a cloth mask, it's just as effective.
Well, this is what's crazy. These are the ones that say do choose masks that have more than 2 or more layers of washable, breathable fabric. Completely cover your nose and mouth. I agree with the completely covering your nose and mouth one. Washable fabric, no. Cloth masks are completely ineffective. Fit snugly against the sides of your face and don't have gaps. Yes, I agree with that. Have a nose wire to prevent air from leaking out top mask. Okay, good. Now this is what's insane. Do not choose masks that are made of fabric that makes it hard to breathe, for example, vinyl. Okay, I guess. Have ex exhalation valves or vents, which allow virus particles to escape. Weren't we told that the ones with like the filter exhalation valves were actually better? I guess not. This is the one that's crazy. This is insane. Do not choose masks that are prioritized for healthcare workers, including N95 respirators. Those are the only ones that work. And they're telling you not to get them.
yeah, I know.
Like, that's insane. They're
Well,
literally telling you to not get the only mask that we know for certain is effective.
well,
The cloth ones are not. The bandana shit's not. The surgical ones aren't. The only one that is literally made to be effective for this stuff, they tell you not to get. This whole thing is a lie. It's a sham.
I'm
Like it's a complete sham. They even tell you not to wear the face shields. Look at this.
Dude, fuck that, man. This thing's done. This thing, I've had it up to here with this stupid bullshit. The one thing I do like
I
about
hate
it
it.
is not having to go into work physically.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like to go into work. It's just I don't like having to go and like waste my time and spend money to park. You know.
Well, you know what this is kind of, we still to this day are debating if masks work. Isn't it crazy? We're at the end of this thing, we still don't agree if masks work. I think the N95s do and none of the other ones do. And
I
even the
think we should.
N95s can only do so much.
I think we should have been wearing gas masks to be honest with you because you're missing the eye hole with everything else.
Absolutely. And that's the problem with the masks. If you aren't covering your eyes, you're probably going to get infected still. So it's almost no good at that point. This is the problem with this country. Like, this is the peak of the problem that we have with division, is that there are no agreed upon set of facts. Even if the facts were wrong in the past, even if it was lies we agreed upon, we agreed and got along. The reason we are not getting along is because of stuff like this. When Fauci says, even when you get the vaccine, you still have to wear a mask. When the CDC says, do not wear an N95 mask. It's like there's no agreed upon set of facts. So that's why people are always like at each other with shit. It's insane. I'm so done with it. I should start, following what Wawa tells me. Oh, I got the vax. I could only need to wear a mask. Don't yell at me, mask Karens.
Yeah,
It's
no.
so ridiculous.
Yeah, see, here's my thing. Like, if they want to have you take the vaccine, they should fucking pay you money for it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the one thing, dude. I mean, I was not really. I'm not an anti-vax person, but I did not like that. But my one thing is, like, my fucking work, they actually paid me like $250 to get it, so I can't really fucking complain.
Did you get it?
Yeah, because I'm getting paid $250.
You got the Fauci shot with the microchip.
Dude,
Oh no.
$250, man. I just bought a fucking car. I need the money.
That's true. I thought how was it afterwards?
You say that now, but R.I.P. Alex. I'll be
Yeah. We're gonna lose Alex. Which one was it? Was it the
it-
AstraZeneca, Johnson Johnson?
It wasn't the Johnson Johnson because I don't believe in using aborted babies to go and like fuel your vaccine.
Nice.
I got I don't know, it's like the one from Walmart.
The Moderna.
I think that was it. Yeah, it was one that's like supposed to have the least side effects.
Yeah, I'm holding off as long as possible.
Do it like unless someone's paying you, like why the fuck would you want to do it?
I'm not getting paid.
Yeah, that's why. Like, dude, if I didn't get paid $250, I wouldn't have taken it. But man, I can't. $250. That's a lot of money, man.
Did you have any? I don't blame you. That was more than what I paid for my GPU.
I feel like
Well,
that.
that's after I get my second one though, so I have to go and like wait a few more days.
Did you get paid again for the second one?
No, it's just I will get paid when I get the full.
Oh, okay.
Which makes sense. Like it's a decent bit of money. And if honestly people really, if the companies want to get people to do it, just pay them. But that's the thing I love about my company. They didn't require it, but they said, hey, if you do it, here's $250, and then you can like not have to wear the mask in the office. So like.
Apparently, there are now mild heart problems among younger people getting the vaccine.
I didn't really have any issues with it, to be honest with you. Like, my arm was a little bit sore, but, like, I don't know. It hurt them more when they, like, put the bandage on them when they actually got the shot. And then, like, the few days later, it was a little bit sore. But, I don't know. My girlfriend had a lot of side effects when she got
Well,
her.
yeah, because she had COVID. See, that's why I think is the correlation with this vaccine, is the people that are really going down with it had COVID.
She's allergic to a lot of the shit in, like, regular vaccines, though.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, her mom just.
I think it's more from because this is not a typical vaccine too. It's mRNA. It's not like a typical vaccine. So I think it's actually the COVID side effects.
It could be like I don't know, but she did almost like she had problems with other vaccines. So I don't know if I'd use her as an example, just because she's like allergic to one of the major ingredients in there.
Yeah, that's fair. You did mention your car though, and I have to ask before we close in a few minutes.
Wait, last week, did you talk about that Kentucky ballistics bullshit?
Oh, the dude that fired the gun, and
You talk anything about that last week?
what happened with that? Well, we didn't talk about because I honestly just heard a little bit, but it was like, I don't know, I didn't pay attention to it.
So there was this like gun YouTuber guy who bought this it was a Serbu rifle, and he shot this 50 caliber round, and it was, I forget the name of it, but it's basically this like armor piercing like round. You know, they get paid to go and do that, and apparently it so they whoever sold to him must have like really bubbled it up, because it had like over like 185,000 like psi of pressure that generated from that cartridge going off. And I think the average, like what the spec is for that cartridge is like 55,000 psi, and this was like over like 3 times that. Literally sheared the fucking like the end cap off, and it like hit him in the chest, and he had to go and, like stick his thumb in his like in the wound, or else he would have like bled out while he got like to the hospital.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking nuts. But yeah, no, that guy was like, this is why you do not go and like.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the video now to find it.
It's pretty crazy. Like, don't go and like be very careful if you're gonna be like, you know, shooting rounds of that caliber, and you know, don't buy shit that's been reloaded. Because from what I understand, you know, someone probably did that by themselves and probably dumped like they could have stuck fucking dynamite in there, and that's what caused it. But like that dude should have died, but somehow he didn't.
Wow. He doesn't show it. I guess there's no video of the explosion.
I think there was there. I thought I saw that. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. I thought I did see it, but you don't really see it. Maybe it was taken off of YouTube. Let me see the actual accident.
I'm gonna check Twitter to see if I can find it.
Let me see if I can see it. Where's him shooting it? Shows like the end result.
Yeah, that's what I kept seeing, was him doing it like the day after or something.
Oh, I think I see it. No. Oh yeah, I see it.
What's the timestamp?
It's like 3:03. I'll show. Maybe not. Hold on. Let's see. He's screwing that butt plate in. Let's see. When is he actually gonna do it?
Can you
like it doesn't look so bloody when he does it.
Can you screen share that to the VC?
I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go and find the actual fucking timestamp where it goes off. Come on, fire the fucking thing. Oh, there it is. Yep. 4:29. I'll show you the. I'll show it to Sean.
Is that? Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, he does show it, but it doesn't like look very bloody. But you can see that.
Whoa. Yeah, it really did blow up. Holy shit. That's scary.
Yeah, and speaking of guns, you hear what the Biden like plan is now with the ATF to go and like make you register all your all your like handmade receivers.
Oh wait, well, wasn't that the thing he announced like a month ago?
No, but like apparently the ATF wants to go and redefine like firearms as like 80% receivers. So now if you have like an 80% receiver, like before you make it, you apparently, like, even if it's just for yourself, you have to go and like get it you have to get the numbers put on there, and this includes like everything that you made previously too. That's bullshit. There's a public comment period on it, so if you can do it, you know, comment on there, because I don't like that. That's sort of what's going on with that.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I want to end it on, because I know, unless we have anything else we want to talk
You
about.
want to talk about your computer first?
Well, I can't review it.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't used it enough. I've only booted it up once. Well, other than the times I failed. I don't know if you call that boot. It looks sexy. It looks nice in the space, and it seems like it's going to perform well. But expect a computer review. Maybe next week we'll talk about it. I won't be using it next. I'll be using it the following weeks. I'll be traveling. But you have a special. Well, we're on the topic of computers though. First, how is Call of Duty War,
Black Cold
Cold
War.
War? I almost said World War.
Um,
Yeah, Black Ops Cold War. Now that it's been like what 8 months since release, it was released in September 2020. How is it now?
I've enjoyed it. I didn't play like I just got it recently because I there were some things which I didn't really like about the other version, like the beta version, but I guess they fixed most of those bugs. I think it's fun. It's a little bit different from Modern Warfare. It doesn't feel as super crazy like realistic, which is fine for me. It's more arcadey feel, which I kind of liked. Like it takes a little bit more to actually kill you, which I do enjoy. It's like a little bit less twitch based. You actually can see like a health bar now. There's certain things I do like about it. I've been having fun with it. I enjoy it. You know, it's uh, it's not terrible. I think that Modern Warfare, like they did an amazing, like the remake, they did an amazing job with like the weapons and attachments, and I think this one's all right. It's not quite to that level, but the actual gameplay is better. Like I can actually like, maybe it's not as realistic, but like hearing people like walk up, it's a lot more easy to go and like see, hey, this person might be walking behind me versus Modern Warfare. It's like, oh, I maybe they're in front of me, maybe they're like two stories above me. I don't know. I've enjoyed it.
Hmm,
You know,
good. Because I heard it had a lot of problems. I heard the maps were really rough at launch.
they seem like they're decent now.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
good.
I've been playing the COD mobile version and it's pretty good.
Oh boy, COD Mobile.
How is that even playable on mobile? That's got to be an achievement that they were
Well,
able to.
Mobile is its own game. It's not.
No, I know it is, but like, how do you even play any Call of Duty anything on mobile?
You get an iPad Pro. That's how you. That's it.
Oh, yeah, that because I'm imagining like trying to do that on my phone. Like, holy crap.
Well, they had Fortnite like before their Epic lawsuit. Epic did have Fortnite on mobile.
Yeah, they did.
I think you might still be able to play it on Android. So, well, not on their store, but you can still download it separately.
I want to make the audience, at least my audience, aware of something, and you guys might be interested in this as well over
Mm.
on Versa. But there is
Something else.
now there is now a podcast um, about the life of Rush Limbaugh called
Mm.
Rush Limbaugh, the man behind the golden EIB microphone, and it's hosted by his former producer who ran the show. And there was a lot about him. Like I pretty much read all there was to read about Rush, but there was stuff like about how the show was done that I didn't even know about. So it's really a behind the scenes look at how that show ran, and it's real worth checking out. It's like a weekly like documentary series almost.
That's cool.
So check it out wherever you get your podcast, and I'll drop a link for you guys in Chad's chat. So it's
Nice.
Nice.
definitely worth checking out, I think.
Does he still have his old Sirius XM channel? 'Cause I think I saw it on there still. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm mistaken. I thought he had a Sirius XM channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stan Bongino is taking over for him.
Oh yeah, that is one thing I wanted to ask you. So what do you think of Bongino overall?
I think he's fine, but he's very average in my mind. Like
This
I don't see anything special about him. I would have put Alex Jones on in replacement of Rush, but I know they would never do that.
I would
and
have
there's an opening. Apply.
I would
Yes.
I would have put Tucker on personally.
I actually agree.
I don't think he would do it though, because he's got his like TV gig. I think TV probably makes more money than radio.
Well, Rush was highly paid. He made like he made like 9 million. Like he made some crazy amount of money per episode.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Like these people like Handy and Ingram, they don't need Fox. They make plenty off of their radio shows. They actually make, I think, more, which is crazy.
Maybe, but then when you do radio, though, like you're pretty much like at least that's how that other guy was, the shock jock guy. Like
Yeah,
you're pretty
Howard
much glued
Stern.
to the you're pretty much glued to the fucking like radio at that point. Like you're doing that all fucking day every day.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a work life balance issue too.
Oh yeah, and I think the other problem too is you're limited time wise because radio is a dying medium. And once the boomers are gone, like who's gonna listen to radio?
And then there's podcasts.
Exactly. So you have to do podcasts, or you have to go on TV,
Well,
or
you
go
could
behind a paywall.
probably simulcast some of that stuff, but like no, dude.
Yeah,
I my thoughts serious. I do. Oh, serious is something else.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But you like the game. It's pretty good. I will purchase a COD game so I can play with you and other people, but I might wait till E3 because that's coming up in a couple weeks to see what they're gonna do. Because if they're gonna keep Modern Warfare as this thing that they keep updating, I'll get that 100%.
Yeah,
But if they're gonna make another one, then I'm gonna have to wait.
Modern Warfare is not bad. Like they're decent with that. Cold War's all right too. I can't complain. Like they're
Yeah.
decent. I mean, I still love my old fucking RuneScape.
I know you do. Did you play the campaign in Cold War?
No, I did not play that at all yet. I just sort of picked it up because my girlfriend got it on the PlayStation. I was like, oh, this seems like fun. I'll probably beat it eventually. I don't know. It's like I love Modern Warfare's like the new one. Like that one was actually pretty decent. But like I'm more of a multiplayer guy for Call of Duty. Like if I want to play a good campaign, I'll play the Halo series. Like they're bar
Yeah.
none like probably the best. Maybe with the exception of Half-Life. I never
Hmm.
actually beat that because I never fucking cared to.
It's still waiting on Half-Life 3.
Yeah, that's you're gonna get like your 3080 before Half-Life 3 comes out.
Dude, I get 4080 before Half-Life 3 comes out.
It'll never come out. I think it's a meme at this point.
Why hasn't it come out? I've never understood that.
I think like they never got around to it because like they were dealing with Seaman. They were like, well, you know what? Why would we make games when we can just sell other people's games?
But if yeah,
yeah,
and I get that, but if they made Half-Life 3, like regardless of how good or bad it was, they make a shit ton of money.
No, but the problem is it would be you'd have a super hype situation where if it's not perfect, people are gonna flip shit because
That's
it's been
true.
hyped. It has been hyped for so long. Like it basically needs to be a masterpiece, or else
It's worse than Cyberpunk in terms of hype.
extremely worse. Like it's you know, I don't know. I never really played the first one, or I think I played like a little bit. I had the orange box, but like I never actually beat it. And I thought it was decent, but like I don't know, I never actually beat it. So obviously, it wasn't my cup of tea. It was this weird sort of sci-fi thing, and so a lot of people love it and they think it's like some of the best things. They made a VR, I think, version of it.
I see that. Yeah, that's the only thing they've done since Half-Life 2 came out.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's gonna be tough to. Like they're just never gonna do it. That's the truth of the matter. They're never gonna go and make that Half-Life 3, or maybe they'll do it like at some point.
I could see him doing it. Like if for some crazy reason Valve is not making as much as they want to, I could see him doing it. It'd be a big gamble, but it could be a big reward.
I don't know. It would. There would have to be some reason or else I would have done it by now.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I agree. And I think it is because of Steam that they they're not interested in taking the risk.
Yeah, because why not? You know, like Steam, they literally do nothing but like host content, and they make
Yeah.
a shit ton of money
Yep.
just by hosting content. Like, oh, you know, we'll go and sell your games. Like, why do you make games? And like, they made what was that? I think they made Counter Strike. They made Counter Strike Go, and I think that's that the last one, or they make another one after
Yeah,
that.
CS:GO's the latest, I think. Well,
Yeah,
isn't Counter-Strike something that's like they literally haven't changed it for like decades?
people don't want to be changed. Like, well, no, they had Counter Strike Go. Before that was Counter Strike Source, and before that was Counter Strike. And I think the original Counter Strike game was like a mod of Quake or something. Or yeah, I think it was like a Quake mod. And same thing like Dota was a mod of like Warcraft 3, and that was another thing that Steam makes. It's like we're Dota 2. They sell
Hmm.
that. Although I don't think people play that as much because you get like League of Legends, which is basically a fucking
Yeah.
rip off of that.
Anyway,
I don't
though,
Oh,
really
I
play
heard
that.
that at
I was
what were
just
you saying, Sam?
gonna say we should probably wrap up here soon. So,
Oh yeah, I will
but
be. Because I the last thing I wanted to get in though was your car. You you have bought yourself the vape machine. You are now living the meme, and how is it?
Oh, dude, I got a 2021 Subaru WRX STI. Man, I there's certain things I do miss because I had an Acura before that. Like it was a TL. And it was a good car, but like man, it was getting too old at that point. It was over a decade old, and it was getting like 200,000 miles. So I got this car, and like man, every time I go in there, it puts a smile on my face. You know, just that like raw excitement, just driving around. You know, with that speed. You know that ability to just go and like fucking floor it and just go. You know, I love that. Like the gearbox, it is like probably one of the best gearboxes I've ever felt. And be able to go and
Wow.
like have everywhere just go and play with that. There's some issues like with the interior for sure. You know, I'm not a big fan of their seats. Although I did not buy a luxury car, and you know, my Acura might not be the most luxurious car, but still I'd call it some level of luxury. These seats, you know, it's like racing seats, so it's not going to be super comfortable.
Is it the Recaro seats or the standard seats?
The Saturn ones, I wasn't going to pay like 2 grand for fucking shitty Recaro seats. They weren't like I tested them out before. They were
Recaro seats are nice.
their one wasn't worth 2 grand. That's
Yeah.
the thing, you know. The
yeah, I
other
know.
ones weren't terrible.
Yeah, I know that's a bit steep for seats, even if they are good.
Yeah, that was my thing, and like, I don't know. They try to go and screw like those dealers, man. Like the one over here, I had to go and travel like an hour and a half away just to go and buy the car because the dealer over here, like all their ones were like over MSRP.
What?
Yeah, like they were trying to go and sell me a used STI for more than a new one. You know,
Huh.
That's
that's
insane.
yeah, it's bullshit. And I was just like, screw that, man. I'll just buy one somewhere else. And I did. And it's, you know, it's been driving great. You know, the only thing that's like, I wish the dealer would have told me is like, you have to go and like basically grip the, you know, the transmission's foreskin to go into reverse. To like pull up the foreskin to go in there. And he never told me that. So I was like, huh, why can't I get into reverse? And I almost like drove into the fucking like garage door because I couldn't figure out how to go into reverse. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's
Eventually,
weird.
no, it makes sense because like I won't accidentally go into like reverse while I'm driving.
How is it working? Can you describe that? I'm so a little confused.
Like they have this little thing like on the six, you know, the manual transmission. There's this like little ring around the, you know, the dick thing, the transmission, that's shifter, and you have to go and pull up on what I call it the foreskin because that's kind of what it looks like, and then I'll let you go and put it into reverse. While you're pulling up, you can move it to reverse.
Oh, I see. That makes sense, yeah, because when you're using a manual and constantly using that stick, you don't want to accidentally put it in reverse.
Yeah, see now my Acura, they just if I was going at like I think above 5 miles an hour, I couldn't do like it would just lock it out, which I never had any.
Yeah, I would think this would. I'm not saying to try this, but it'd be interesting to see if you could actually go into reverse, at
No,
above certain speed.
you can't go like I'm not gonna go and try that, but I know like you have to go. It's a deliberate action to go into reverse, and it's nice that like I have the backup lights. I mean, all cars have to have those, but it's nice having that push button start. I'm still kind of partial to that. I
I
don't
love
really.
that. I love it. I
I don't
wish
know.
mine
Like
had it.
I have that, and like I don't really. I don't know, there are certain things I don't really see the benefit of
Yeah.
Well,
that
the
much.
huge benefit is when you have stuff in your hands, you can just open up the car door easily. You don't have to fiddle in your pocket. You just open the door and you put your shit in.
Well, no, my thing is though, like I'll do that, and then I'll forget to like
Lock it.
the push button start. I'll leave my keys in the car all the time because I don't have to go and
Just
like.
keep it in your pocket. That's how it's meant to be.
Man's gonna fall out.
Well, keep it in a deep pocket.
Man, half the time wearing like shorts.
Yeah, well, keep it in your purse then.
I don't have a man purse. What do you think I am?
A Californian.
I'm not no. I ain't no fucking what's his face? That guy. That big old. Your Apple. One of your Apple
Steve Jobs.
mascot. Steve Jobs. No, but I do love that car. Like honestly, out of all the like modern cars, it's like really the only one I sort of give a shit about. Like it is more fun than my Acura was. And even the base like the regular non STI WRX, like they do not feel anything like this. Like it is a fun car. I can go and it's gonna be good for the winter once I buy actual winter tires for that. Cause I came with summers, which is kind of shit. But
Yeah,
I'm about to go and buy rims and actual tires, so that's gonna be a bit expensive. But I saved up some money. Like no, it's fun. Like it is a fun car. It might not be the most like fastest car, but like it's not a slow car by any means. Like you can hear that turbo start to go. You can just like keep on going after that.
nice.
It keeps that up. And there's no like there is a little bit of there is a little bit of turbo lag if depends on how much you want to deal with, but like like when you first go in there, you're going over there until you hit like 4,000 RPM, then it just like fucking rockets. It's like steady say then boom, which at some point I'm probably gonna go and pay, or I either do it myself or pay someone to go and do like one of those Cobb tunes on it, so I can go and because I think they can fix that if
Nice.
with a map. So we'll see. Oh, it's fun though. I love it. I've had a lot of fun with that car, and it's the only thing that kind of sucks is the gas mileage is kind of shit on that one because it uses a like basically decade old engine.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did some minor changes, but like it's basically the same thing. It's that EJ series. The WRX has like the FA series, which is really convenient, but this one sort of doesn't. But
Nice.
it's all good.
Well, I'm glad you're happy because it's always nice having a fun car. But I have to go take a big dump, so I guess that's a good cue to end the show on.
Wow, what a way to end the show, folks! I've got to go because I've got to take a shit.
We have to go.
Uh,
We have to end it. Not because we're out of material, because I gotta take a shit. But no,
uh,
I'm actually glad that you got a good car. So, will you let me test drive it?
Sean, you don't know how to drive a manual transmission.
Will you teach me how to drive a manual?
Oh, yeah, sure.
There we go. Are we gonna be in an empty parking lot at
You're
night?
gonna borrow your dad's Ferrari.
When it actually is working. It's not here, but if it is, I will make sure you get a chance to. Anyway, that was a bit of an inside joke because my driving skills are supreme, and
I, I'm
anybody will let me
I'm
drive
I'm
anything.
sure, yes, from what I've heard. Well,
Yeah, it's stellar record.
well, you can drive the rape chariot anytime you want.
Disavow. I ain't touching that.
Well, at least compared to Caitlyn Jenner, you're all right.
Yeah, I haven't killed anyone yet.
That we know of.
You're not
I didn't kill the Amish.
you're not a woman, so you're already you're good
Whoa,
there.
disavow.
Do you just
Sexist
assume it's
Sam.
gender?
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, I just said technically too. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Anyway, thank everybody for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe for more of this redonkulous content. I think I turned off the chat. Did I stop looking at the chat? Oh, there's nobody else to say anything. It's okay. I should have checked Sam's chat, but I didn't. Sam, you want to plug your stuff one more time before I take a dump?
Yeah, folks, thanks for tuning in to the Whitfield Report and Versa crossover, and you can subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, and you can also subscribe over on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, wherever else you find your podcast. All of the links to support the show will be in the description in both the video and audio format. So thank you very much.
Wait,
And
Sean, is that figure right? A billion people vaccinated? What the fuck?
Technically, it's over 1 billion vaccine doses.
Jesus, man. If that's fucked up, then we have a. Man, we're fucked if
We're in trouble.
yeah. But anyway,
And you're one of those.
Shit.
but anyway, folks, we'll be back next week, hopefully. Who knows? Alex might not be around by then. So, but anyway, folks, from all of us
Yeah,
here,
we have autism.
from all of us here, NDC. Well, I mean, he is an IT guy, so
Ooh,
you know.
what do you like that other dude that was calling out his IT shit?
Stereotype.
Yeah, man.
Somehow the
Yeah.
welfare line. I like that other guy.
Ooh. Sounds good. Well, we'll see you guys later.
Alrighty, folks. Good night. God bless. God save this great nation. And God for mixing in that order. And yes, Apex, you did miss the show. You literally came in last minute, but we still love you, sort of. Anyway,
No homo.
God, but well, it is homo for me. I'm not.
Oh, okay. I won't speak for you then. We'll see you guys. I'm gonna take my dump.
All right.
I'll be back.
God bless,
off
folks.
air. God damn it! I gotta take this so badly. All right, it's off. All right, I'll be back in a second, and then I'll tell you some spicy stuff, Dolsky.
Go and check the